Good morning, YouTube. It's Trader Rob. Today is Monday, March 9th. Crazy day in the markets here so far. Pretty much went over everything in our pre-session here with our members. Obviously, we had a huge gap to the downside yesterday, but had a nice little V-shaped recovery down here. Had a nice little V-shaped recovery down here about 9:30, and the buyers just absolutely trapped the shit out of a lot of the sellers over here, and we've pretty much retraced majority of at least after the gaps move to the downside. So we'll see here if that continues or not. Okay, open this up here a little bit. And it looks like buyers are still taking control here. So let's just keep mapping here and see what's happened. Okay, sellers tried to defend. Okay. Not much for me to change here yet. ES has got pretty similar picture to the NQ. We are in a red seller controlled area currently in the market, so not looking for any obviously longs here just yet. We'll see how price action continues to develop here on the 30 range. You can see that sellers still stepped up where they kind of needed to. So we'll see here if the buyers can overpower the sellers here or not. We try to stay super patient here, just like every other day. But you know, even though there's no high impact news scheduled for this morning, we obviously have a ton of volatility in the markets currently. So you just got to be, you got to stay nimble. Have your news service on there. Obviously, the conflict in the Middle East right now has got the markets edgy. You got oil, oil ripping. So again, NQ, we are still in this red seller-controlled area. Not looking for any longs here unless they give me any reason here to change. So kind of big picture here, what we're looking at. We do have a reaction band here on the NQ from the 24,591 to the 24,609. So that would be our first reaction band that we'll be taking a look at. Obviously, buyers have to start taking control for us to take a look at that. If not, if the sellers can still inch up, we'll look at for a short here. That's always going to be my bias going into a reaction band. But depending on where buyers and sellers show strength, we can adjust that. And then the next one where we've got a ton of volume sitting at is at the 24,649 to the 24,669. So again, we'll just kind of go piece by piece here, and you know, obviously again, seller showing strength, seller showing strength, buyers not. This is no indication to me of, you know, changing anything from red to green here yet. So we kind of stay on the bigger picture here just so you guys can take a look and see what the market's doing on a bigger scale here. Hey Martin, if you can hear me, can you please mute yourself when you come into the live trading room? I appreciate it. I sent you a few DMs on it. Alright, so let's see here. Still showing strength. Let's see if what the buyers want to do here now. This is so as I mentioned, just going to be kind of overly kind of cautious here. Some bigger picture items to take a look at. If we take a look at our weekly bands, we're currently sitting in one at the 24,512 to the 24,447. We do have a weekly band below us at the 24,306 to the 24,237. And then the next one that I'm going to be interested in is at the 24,852 to the 24,773. Okay, so this is going to be a weekly band here. This is big picture. And then if we kind of go a little bit more granular into the day, come back to the NQ. We had a reaction band here that got completely gapped to the downside, so we kind of just hopscotched over this big reaction band. I kept it on here for this morning's scalping bands and levels, but I mentioned very clearly that this got gapped to the downside here. Above that, we've got the 24,654 to the 24,620 with a level at the 24,844. Excuse me. And then another one above us at the 25,107 to the 25,070. Okay, so that's big picture. And then if we look at the ES, for the ES as far as weekly bands, we've got one below us at the 6635 to the 6600. The next one above us, which I would be interested in, is at the 6855 to the 6820, with a level here at the 6772. Okay, these are weekly bands, very strong, very difficult to get through. And then on the daily, what it looks like, this is a scalping band. As you can see, no level here. And this is where the Sunday gap opened. I don't put a lot of weight onto this one. And there's no level there, so nothing I would be super interested in. But I will be very interested at the 6847 to the 6828, as we have two levels built right into there. And again, those are posted every single morning on Discord. Alright, let's see if what we've kind of left here. Nothing yet. So again, everything that I posted about today was, showing some patience here in the markets. It's a Monday, and we are in some pretty volatile time right now. So let's take a look at the ES. So ES has been churning. Okay, so they overtook a little bit more ground, as you can see here. Real nice big flip. So we'll see here now when the S&P starts getting into their green zone, we'll see if the buyers still start showing some strength, and we'll get a better indication maybe of an early morning bias here, because overall big picture is negative, but we have been since about 9:30 last night, we've been pretty much just churning back everything that we had given up last night. How's everybody doing this morning? Okay, so this is the NQ. NQ, they've now, sellers have retaken a little bit more territory here. Buyers still not showing super strength here yet. So again, we're going to be entering into this green zone here pretty quickly. So that'll give us a good indication if the buyers end up stepping back in here. All right, so we'll take a look here at the ES. This is the earliest indicator here of stepping into the buyer zone. As you can see, a lot of negative delta, so sellers are definitely trying what they can here. Again, not an area for me to long here just yet because you know, we still got a lot of selling pressure to the above side, but you can see how buyers here have started to now at least start to defend this green area. And this green area we have already mapped out pre-session with my Signal members this morning in our live trading room here. And the NQs just lagging just the ES just a little bit here. Okay, so they defended. Buyers defended here, negative delta, green footprint. They took a lot of heat coming down from here, so this green band so far has held up. Okay, buyers showing strength right here on the NQ, so I can bump this up. Actually, I can make this look like that. Yeah. Okay. So now the buyers and sellers have kind of collided here now on the NQ. So we'll see here now who's going to win this battle. This is where I would say early morning is going to be a pivotal part of direction for at least the early morning here. Okay, buyers stepping up again, negative delta, green footprint. So they are inching back up. All right, so we can see pretty clearly now where buyers and sellers have kind of met up here, and this it's proving to be an area now that we've kind of already would have anticipated to be kind of like this is going to be their battlefront here, and we'll just kind of see. We'll keep mapping out to see who takes control here. And then hopefully we can start mapping out some areas where we might be able to take some scalps. Look at the ES here. Again, same thing with ES. ES had so far defended the area that they were showing early strength here this morning. You can see how well they buoyed this up right here. And this should say 30 range. I gotta change that. I'm on the 30 range here. So I'll change that here in a minute. Just doesn't confuse you guys. Back to the NQ. Nothing to change here yet. And if we take a look at the NQ, we do have an area previously of unbalanced volume sitting, a pretty big one actually, sitting right here. Looks like they balanced that out though pretty well. See if I can refine that here a little bit. So we got a pretty small area here of unbalanced volume at the 24,329 to the 309. So we'll kind of see here what, if any, reaction we do get. This is pretty much the first untested unbalanced volume area. All right, we tapped right into there. Just go down to the 30. Nice little flip there. So you can see how well that unbalanced volume area here reacted off of that. So that's kind of a good sign there that the buyers are at least still defending. Nothing here to change yet. Okay, what do we see here now? We got a little bit more intel. So sellers here now starting to show strength in that green area. So now we can flip this red. So now sellers have started to inch down. We do have another area down here of some unbalanced volume with a very interesting spot at the 24,126. I'll try to get my numbers here will be a little bigger. I don't know why they're so small on this chart right now. So kind of big picture here. And you can see this pretty clear here. You know, we finally tapped into the meat of this unbalanced volume. We did get a flip to the upside. No reason to take a long here just yet because this is all still red. This is where sellers have been showing all their strength as of right now. So no reason here whatsoever to take a long yet. Okay, digging a little deeper into that unbalanced volume area. Again, buyers showing strength again, as you guys can see with the flip right here. To be anticipated. Now we're going into seller strength, so let's see if the sellers hold on here or not. Looks like they might give up some of their cookies here, but we'll see. Okay, nothing to change here yet. Okay, sellers showing strength where they're supposed to show strength. You could see the tug of war. You can't see it so clearly with the candlesticks, but you could definitely see it really clearly with the footprint chart. Okay, nothing to change here yet. Okay, area here of unbalanced volume for sellers. It is a little close. A lot of that push was the opening bell, but the opening bell we wicked up here. So let me just see if there's anything a little bit more defined here that we might be able to find. Okay, pretty simple. There's not. Okay, no reason yet to change any of this red to green. Don't get too excited here yet with the buyers. Big picture here, you can see where buyers and sellers again have kind of found some fair value. Big struggle right here. Morning, Nate. As I mentioned many times already this morning, today is a day of patience. I got no real clear place to short here from yet, and I have a very small area here to long, but it would be right here. It's pretty small area to scalp here from at the 24,332. I know this is super small. Not sure why my setting changed there. You know, I only got about 15 points maximum from that 332 level to long. Now we can increase here from buyers. This is good. Okay, so buyers retook some territory back here in the market. They have opened up my scaling opportunity, or I should say my scalping opportunity here now from the 24,332. Unless they come back down here with strength and close up this, close up that gap here a little bit. Okay, remember, let's not think about anything long here yet, because we are in a very strong seller dominated area here. This guy does not. See what I mean? No reason to be long in there yet, just yet. Alright, so this bar here is going to be very important to us, because remember, I've got enough room here now for 10 to 15 point scalp off the 24,332. I just don't want to see this close in on me too much. I'll go down to my 30 range here. And still looking at my 120 on my other monitors, just to make sure that I'm not in a situation here where I get a flip real close. Not looking for, I don't care about flips here right now because this is on the 30. I'm still looking at the 120. You can see how noisy the 30 is. Okay, buyers took back a little bit here. Kind of showing you the big picture here. Pretty sideways here right now. Now we also have another little issue here, is that we've got a potential sweep here of this low on this scalp here of the 24,332. Got a very juicy area for them to want to possibly sweep. So we gotta make sure that we keep that into context there. Okay. Kind of missed that one there. A little late. That would have been a nice little flip there. Not looking to take a trade here yet anymore, just because we are very close now to this sweep down here. So now if we do sweep down here, I will jump into the 60 and 120 range to see maybe if we can get a bigger move to the upside if we sweep liquidity and they want to continue to the upside here. So I kind of missed that scalp. You saw how quickly price action there, how quickly right here this jumped in, and by the time I saw the negative footprint here, it was a little too late, but that would have definitely gotten me my 10 to 15 points pretty easily. So that's a little bothersome, but and let me just put a line that's right at the bottom of this. But just to mark this off here. I think we got enough space here for decent, we got 20, 40, 60, almost 70 points to the upside here, so I'll kind of stay here. Stay here on the 120. And then I can split screen the 60. There we go. So you got the 60 range on the right, and you got the 120 on the left. So one scalping opportunity there missed this morning. So we got the 24,312 here, pretty strong low right now. So we'll kind of see here if we might get any indication for a sweep of liquidity there, and we'll see if we can ride it to the upside. Okay, we just tested the waters with sellers here now again. Sellers defending. Okay, so sellers there showed some strength again. And they've kind of lowered this packet for us here. We made this now 10, 20, 30, 40, about 45 points in this green area from here. Still definitely scalpable in my opinion. Probably gonna have to get an entry off the 60 though. Big picture. Big unbalanced volume area right here. Just cannot find a really good scalping opportunity for a short here as of right now. I'm trying. Nothing super good there. That's the only thing I see there is at the 24, 455, but not a lot of room, at least from what I see on the unbalanced volume area for me to take a short from. Ten minutes for IB to be set. Seller's still trying to defend here. No reason to take a short. We got no space there. Okay, buyer's taking up a little bit more space here. This is not the initial balance yet. This is just the session low as of right now. We got 8 minutes still for IB to be set. Be right back. For a possible short here. Let's see. We're in this unbalanced volume zone. Had a good reaction point. We did get a not the greatest footprint right there, so we'll see. Still in a pretty strong selling area. I got knocked out of that one. That was a big one. Let's see if they flip this here now. Rather than overtake this right here, this would really suck if I got stopped out here by a point again. But looks like it might happen here. Exactly a point right there. That really sucked. Got stopped out by a point. That would have hit my 30-point target very easily right there. So again, just trying to take the best probability that I can on the short, seeing direction again really well, but can't control that on the market. 1 point sweep straight to TP. That one hurts a little bit. I'll be right back. Oh boy. It's a good example there of doing everything right, but still taking a loss. Okay, buyers regaining some area here. See if they can hold that up. Okay, so initial balance is set. These are your two yellow lines right here. And you can see pretty much where buyers and sellers have been, it's pretty much split. They've split the initial balance in half, which again shows the consolidation pretty damn good. So to recap, so you did take a short here off of a unbalanced area here by sellers. This was the selling range was a little bit bigger, so it's down to like over here. Did take a short right here. Price action came back up, knocked me out by a point, and then came right down to my TP area, way past my TP area. My TP area was somewhere right around here. So a bit unfortunate, but it's part of trading. Couldn't hit my golf ball, but did take an air swing. That's the best I can do. And YouTube chat's pretty Pretty uneventful here. I was trying to find an entry on the 60 just to kind of reduce risk a little bit, but did not find it on the 60, just found it on the 120 range. So that's why you know, my stop was maybe a little less than 30 points. I think I got a decent entry on there. Maybe it was 29 points. And then my TP was also 30 points on that. But you can really target much more than 30. You probably have gone 45 points, but that would have been stretching right into like that green buying area again. So for me, it didn't make sense. Take a look at the ES. Okay, showed strength there again. Showed strength there again. Alright, so not much has changed on the ES. This is what that looks like. Again, got no real big reaction area until I get to the 67.13s. Stay on the NQ here. Morning, J Loves. John, good morning. An equal sign there. So your two yellow lines that you see up there are initial balance. And as much as I want to be bummed out about that last trade that got knocked out by that 1 point stop, you know, the way you just kind of have to look at it is, you know, again, your direction was right, your thesis was right, just a little unlucky there with the stop being swept. And super easy when you take your first trade of the day, especially since it was a bigger trade. It was in that 30-point range, which is my bigger scalp. You know, very easy to want to try to get back those 30 points with the next trade. You just got to make sure that the setup is still the best setup. If you're taking it on the 60 range, you know what you're going to be targeting. If you find it on the 120, that gives you confirmation, okay, this is could be a bigger move here, so we want to take advantage of those bigger moves when they show up. But if it calls for a scalp, keep it at a scalp and get your 10 points, get your 15 points, and try to all make it up in one trade. Now, if it happens that way, great. But don't look for it, because then you're forcing what you want into the market, and the market's going to tell you very quickly that he doesn't give a shit about what you want. So again, we're coming up to IB high here at the 24,525. This is all still red, so definitely my bias here would be for a scalp to the downside. You know, we'll be looking at these footprints on the 120 very closely leading up into the IB high here, just to make sure that we're not, because even though the picture looks like we're, you know, making a strong move to the upside here, we still have to be very aware that we are still in a very seller controlled side. And we're going to be very interested in this footprint right here leading into the initial balance. So we got a lot of negative delta. It'd be hard, if this does flip green, it'd be hard to get this into positive delta. So more than likely, if this turns green, you're going to have to anticipate almost a flip here green, which would then kill my short here from the IB, unless we can close this out here. Doesn't look like it's going to happen though. So hopefully you guys all understand that. You could almost anticipate a flip here green. So you got so much negative delta. We're already a little past halfway through this candle here to the upside. So you just got to make sure you wait till your higher time frame. Okay, so we don't have to worry about that just yet. It's probably the best case scenario right there. But if this flips green, then this band's going to look very different. This green band's going to come all the way up here. Now, taking a short from the IB doesn't look like the most appealing proposition. kind of taking a look also to see how much room I've got from the IB to this reaction band, which we've got about 50, 60, 64, 65 points here. But as of right now, my thesis is still a short here from the IB. And if something was to play out where we do get a flip to the buy side here, and if we can get something on the 120, then you've got the gap fill, which is right in the middle of this reaction band here. So I would think that the reaction band here would be a pretty decent target, as the market would probably want to balance out that inefficiency. But again, something would have to show me that the buyers are in complete control of this previously seller dominated area. So we got the 120 on the left, we got the 60 on the right. So again, still thinking shorts here. This could be a huge liquidity run, but something would have to make sense to me. And if they do continue to run, I would only want to wait for a pullback to try to take a long here. I need something to flip. This bar closes with negative delta, green footprint, I will take a continuation long pretty much to the top of this reaction band, to the bottom of this reaction band. I don't think I'm going to get that just yet. A lot of negative delta coming in here. Let's see if they can trap some of these sellers. Not a huge amount of room here till that reactionary band, but at least it gives us a decent target. going to take a buy here, target up here, and then I'm going to try to see if I can get some protection here. Let's see where the 120 ended off. That's going to be 29 points there. Okay. So not the best risk to reward here. Let's see if I can tighten that up just a little bit. Here we had a flip, no flip there. All right, so if we get a little push up here, I will bring my stop to the 24,551, which is where I had some protection right here earlier. You just see what that looks like. Looks like 19 points there. Okay. I'd like to see one little push here by buyers so I can reduce my risk here. Again, negative risk to reward right here. Which would really suck for the morning, but and if I can get a flip here, that would be great. Because if I get a push above my entry, then I can even reduce my stop even a little bit more. But that was the play. Not looking too great. Come on. You already swept me once here, market. Don't do it again. Okay, looking for any price action above my entry to reduce some risk here to a 60 footprint that makes sense. But I'm just not getting that opportunity here yet. Not a big fan of the hang up here. Should be a pretty quick resolution here. And again, I'm just not trying for a home run. Just going into an area where I know that we're going to see a reaction. We've got a lot of unbalanced volume there. We've got a gap close there. So a lot of reasoning for my target. You could see the reasoning for my stop. It is a negative risk to reward. But I'm looking again for some price action above my entry here to see if I can reduce some risk. Let's see if anything here makes any sense. It really doesn't yet. Nothing here makes sense here yet. So let's just stay here and see if and one other thing I'll tell you is that a lot of traders are anticipating the gap getting closed too. The market can manipulate you just as easy. Them knowing that, hey, everybody's thinking that this is going to go up to fill the gap. It's a pretty easy manipulation tactic as well. But again, just going off of my odds and my edge. Let's see if we got anything here. No flip there yet. Let's see if we can take some profit here. Yeah, I don't like that resistance so hard there. I don't like that at all. This could very easily be a manipulation tactic here, so you kind of have to have that in the back of your pocket, knowing that that might be a big case here. And I got nothing to reduce my stop here yet. Let's see if the candles, maybe the candlesticks will give us the TP. That's what that will look like. Still taking a look at everything on the monitors above it. Not liking this push here down though. Prefer not to be manipulated here. Come on, market, push. So what do you guys think, chat? Think I'm cooked here, or you think I could take a TP? I don't like the hang up so much. That doesn't look good to me. Oh, that hurt. That really hurt. So I did say, I don't think I was in enough profit there. I mean, I had 30 points of risk on that one, so kind of have to manage risk a little bit there. But like I mentioned, it could be a very easy manipulation tactic to, you know, they know that that stop's going to have to get closed out, or at least that's what most buyers think, including myself. So it could be a very easy little stop run and then straight to TP. And I really didn't get any opportunity to decrease my stop on that one. Set the big picture here. Another flip to the upside. Yeah, no realistic TP for me to take here anyways. I mean, I was entering in on the 120. It's going to require a minimum of, in this case, it was only 20 points, which is even less than what I would want to target off of a 120. But it is what it is. So now what I can do is, let's take this guy, let's move him. Now this is all gone. And this is going to look like that. I guess we got to flip right there. And with a very small little red area right here. It's those Monday trading days, man. I'm telling you. I think you can break the streaks, but it's they're very difficult. Am I down 3,500? Okay, that's 2.5 R for me. Pretty close to my max loss for a day. So unless the setup's gonna have to be pretty damn perfect, I think this might be the end of my Monday. For psychology purposes, the first trade definitely emotionally will hurt you a little bit more. This second trade, I kind of knew what I was kind of getting myself into on it. I mean, it's still the setup I would take every single time. You know, the only thing I could really, if I wanted to like overanalyze, which I really don't like doing, is, you know, not having a huge amount of room between entry and where I was thinking about taking my TP. But I was actively trying to find a spot to reduce some risk as well. Just couldn't really find one. But the first one will hurt more just because then you knew the direction perfectly. It's just, you know, you get stopped out by a point. This one I knew probably a quarter way into the trade that there was a pretty good chance that I could get manipulated there. And again, it's just something to put in your journal. You know, gap close, confirmation, got manipulated. We'll see if this closes it out here or not. And now you can see it a lot even more clear than when I was earlier in the trade. Even though it started to get kind of clear to me. When it's having such a hard time like this is a very great way for the market to just run all the liquidity sitting right below it. Most people are trailing stops. Most people are, you know, anticipating this to fill this gap. And it's a great area for just some small pullbacks to knock people out, fuel the market through. Alright guys, I think I'm going to call it a day for right now. If I look at anything else, I'm going to have to switch over to a different group, because this is 2R for me is $3,500 a day is that's a big one for a group. So if I take a look at any other trades, it would have to be on a different group. But I'm going to call it for right now. Be back at it tomorrow. A little unfortunate today with the market. Felt like, again, we had the direction pretty good. But 2 sweeps there just to see TPs eventually get hit. And both on the bigger time frame too. So kind of a mixed bag. Not the greatest day trading, but there will be days like that. All right, guys, I will see you here mañana at market open. Stay patient. Hopefully you guys aren't as red as I am, but if you are, just be very careful with the next trade you take. If it's a good trade, know why you're taking it, and not to try to get back, in my case, 55 points. All right, take care, guys.